Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Learn with Virali. I'm Virali, your guide on this coding adventure. In today's video, we'll understand how to use the input type elements in order for us to ask the user to enter different types of date and times, along with choosing a file from your workspace or from your computer in order to get it uploaded onto the site for which we are building the forms for. So let's get started. As usual, first we'll build up the blueprint of our code, pressing the exclamation mark using VS Code shortcut as pressing exclamation mark and then enter. And now I'll modify the title of the document as Forms in HTML Part 7. And in today's video, we'll understand how to create those date and time input types, asking the user to enter different kinds of inputs, for example, entering a birth date. So for us to first build up a form, we have to use a form tag as discussed in my previous videos. So now I am interested in asking the user to enter a birth date, for instance. So first I'll create a label asking the user to enter the birth date. So saying enter your birth date. Once the label is ready, now let's define an input type. Input type equals to date. We'll first look how the date looks like, giving it an ID equals to birthday, and then name equals to birthday as well. Now, as we had discussed in our previous videos, always remember to include a parameter called as for in your labels just to bind it with the corresponding input type element, which is going to match with the ID of an input type element. So here it should be birthday as it matches the ID of your input type. Now, if you save this file, let's go back onto our browser screen to check how our actual output looks like. So if you can see here, it says enter your birth date, and then it is giving you a place to enter the birth date by selecting it from the calendar. So if I click on this icon, I can readily select whatever is the year, whatever is the month, and then the corresponding date. If I need to browse along, I can just scroll up and down, selecting an appropriate year, appropriate month, and appropriate date. Now, what if you also want to capture the birth time of an individual? So in that case, we have to include another type of an input type element. So let us go back to our code, and instead of date this time, let us include datetime-local. I will save this file again, and let us go back to our browser screen to see what is the change in our screen. So there we go. Now, as you can see on the browser, you will have something more to add on. So if I click on this calendar icon, now I can not only just select date, I can also select the corresponding time for whatever reason the information is being captured for. So for instance, if I select, let's say February 4, 2024, and then I'll select the time maybe as 6:30, and then that's it. If I click outside, all of my data is now selected, and then if I have a submit button at the end, it is gonna be captured on the back end of our website. So that's where you can use an input type called as datetime-local for you to better capture the information together rather than including different boxes inside your HTML code, thereby reducing the number of clicks in your website, making it more and more enhanced. I hope this video was helpful. In the next video, we'll understand how to ask a particular user to upload a file in your HTML form. So until then, stay tuned and happy coding.